Michael, that's fascinating. How is your spectrum of reality expanding?
In lots of ways, but most profoundly in the connectivity of conscious beings who are making an effort to create change. That's where I'm finding it. There have been a lot of concepts, ideas, constructs that have been resonant within the conscious field, and these are things that we've all been thinking about. But for me, and particularly recently, it's been connecting with all of the various people who play specific roles in creating the network that is the consciousness grid of creating what we need to create to define and push forward a positive timeline. So for me, it's the recognition of that, and it's the understanding that that's in place, and it's sort of um, giving an understanding of knowledge that that's happening, and not really having to question any of it, because in essence, it's really all unfolding as it should. And it's not the same esoteric thing that we may have been speaking of even less than a year ago. It's really starting to materialize in ways that are empowering us to work collectively to create what it is that we intend to create. So my reality is expanding on a daily basis through the connectivity and through the platform uh, of interaction, and the definition of cooperative, conscious business and interaction between people.
That is fantastic. I am feeling almost identical to you. I'm finding it most exhilarating to meet, befriend, work with, and interplay with those people who are leading us, upcoming leaders, leaders who have been around for decades, people who have been leaders and are now shifting into ever more conscious positions. And I find this matrix of humanity expanding and coming together at the same time in the most beautiful way. I feel quite hopeful right now. I feel very optimistic about
It,
what's happening.
I do too. And obviously, many of the problems that have been there remain, but it's amazing how you can go from community to community now and find an awakening populace at various levels, and then laden within that are people who are beginning to activate and find each other and are actually acting out on that activation. They aren't simply um, residing, within an energetic space with it. They're actually transforming that into the physical, and are really, taking positions of actually moving a lot of these ideas and manifesting them into things that are happening. And that to me is really critical and vital at this moment, because I think you will agree that you don't have to go that far behind us in space time to be sitting at a point where we were all looking around going, oh yeah, we have all these wonderful ideas, but we don't really seem to be moving on them very well. We don't really seem to be actually making them happen. And that seems to be, particularly in the recent time frame, seems to be changing very rapidly. And that's a wonderful thing to see. So I am also really optimistic. I'm not going to suggest that there aren't, any areas where there might be rocky roads, but what I am saying is that we definitely have what we need to move forward as a species, and to move out of the constructs of a human race and into the constructs of human beings.
Indeed, we do. I'm so delighted to be having this conversation with you. I feel a real kinship, and the theme of my life since I was in my 20s has can be summed up in the expression that came through me: let's activate the miraculous. And that also was one of the themes of the Raw Spirit Festival. And
Right.
as you know, it had never happened before, it's never happened since the coming together of pretty much all of the major raw leaders and anybody that was enthusiastic about finding out more and coming together with
Right.
raw vegan organic foods, music, peace, and celebration. Now that the Raw Spirit Festival is in hiatus, I like to call it heavenly hiatus. I am so delighted to be looking out at other movements, at other festivals, and seeing so many marvelous events, ecstatic events, that are part of this new economy, which I call the ecstatic economy. Times are shifting, people are flowing and flexing, and I'm wondering, what are some of the people and movements in particular that you're finding really inspirational?
Well, you know, I think the things that I'm seeing now is that there are consciousness movements that are designed to create platforms to assist people in cooperative business. And these are some of the things that I'm participating in as well. And I find these to be some of the more profoundly thought out ideas. And to express what that means in a more literal sense is that we are finding ways of cooperative affiliate marketing. We're finding ways to take concepts of life design and create roadmaps whereby people can take their vision um, and find their tribe and do their dream by virtue of being able to have connectivity within a platform, within a market space that is going to, in essence, be designed to work with them cooperatively rather than competitively. So, for example, you know, we have always heard historically when we try to investigate what a company or an organization's purpose is in the conventional modality, it's expressed as a mission statement. And the reality is that a mission statement, generally in the conventional sense, has been a lie. You know, the lie is that the first paragraph should be about making money and squashing competition and removing anything that might look like something that's cooperative in lieu of destroying anybody who has intentions of trying to play in the same space. Well, an actual mission statement in a cooperative, conscious business actually follows those guidelines. So what I like, what I'm really seeing now is as being inspiring to me, is seeing companies that actually are following the mission statements that they create, and actually finding platforms where they can work cooperatively, get out of the stovepipe mentality of competitiveness, and work more peer to peer, and find creative ways